I feel like I'm back in my auditioning days where I'm like having to do self tapes because like my articulation and eloquency of speaking is not where it normally is right now. But that's okay. We're gonna have peace with that and move on. Hello, my name is Faith Willington. I have been thinking a lot about how your strength is your shadow. When I mean your shadow is your strength, first let me emphasize what I mean by shadow. I think your shadow is the part of yourself that you are afraid to face. For many of us, that may be procrastination, dealing with fear of failure, fear of imperfection, fear of others' judgments, anything that you don't want to proudly admit about yourself. And because of that, a lot of us disillusion ourselves, and is that a word? We're gonna pretend that it is. A lot of us try to make it seem as though we don't have that side of ourselves. We want to hide it from other people. But in doing that, we give that shadow more strength and more power, and it holds on, it dominates our life, and it controls us even more. I am a very firm believer that we already hold all of the answers to the universe. Every question that we have about why life is the way it is, why we feel the way we feel, are the way we are, we can already answer within ourselves if we look deeper. That may be a very large exaggeration. I completely understand where other people may push back on me about that. However, I do think that we really do. Everything that we need to know about ourselves, we can answer about ourselves. And most of those answers lie within our shadow. A lot of times when I'm talking to people and I'm giving people advice, I think the reason why I'm so good at giving it to them is just because I can identify their deeper desires that they already know but are afraid to admit. And that's why I think journaling is so powerful, because when you are forced to sit down and reflect step by step why you feel the way you feel about an obstacle in your life, you completely understand your emotional and intellectual self. That is like the epitome of emotional intelligence. Sorry, my roommate just got back from a trip to Switzerland and she was like geeked. She needed to tell me about it. So an example of me like having and battling my inner shadow is with this YouTube channel and just procrastination in general. I have this feeling that I'm even my shadow tells me like if I start this YouTube channel, something bad will happen. And because I'm scared to confront that shadow, I don't dig deeper into why that is. But as soon as I look at it, it's like, okay, I feel like something bad is going to happen if I start this channel. What is that bad thing? I give up. Why do I feel like that's a bad thing? Because it makes me feel like I'm an inconsistent person. And then you ask the question, is it better to be inconsistent or to never start something at all? And that is the power of your shadow, is it shows you that one, consistency is something that you actually do care about and that you do value, that I value as a person. And then as well, in confronting my shadow, I see exactly what I need to do to get rid of it and to become my higher self and the highest version of myself, which sounds so like hustle culture-y, but it's true. I just love like this new imagery that I've come up with in my head of my shadow as just this boogeyman that really disappears the instant I look at it. Like the moment that I turn to my shadow and I'm like, what? Now what? It literally just doesn't do anything. It can't hurt me after that. Yeah. And that was like mostly what I wanted to share. I think talking to my roommate really like made me have a lot of I was like on a roll, but now I can't like remember what I wanted to say, but I'm pretty sure you all got the gist. But some final thoughts that I have about leaning into your shadow and confronting it and using it as your strength is that it really doesn't mean anything unless you put action behind it, which I know is again another very common thing, but it's so true. You can only become a better person and improve yourself by actually doing things to improve yourself. Knowledge means nothing without action behind it. Yeah, I hope this video didn't come off too conceited. I tried to film this video once before and it was like kind of gross how uppity I was in it. And I'm just trying to make these videos more like we're on a FaceTime session with your like really cool Pisces bestie. So the audio in my original outro came out pretty bad, so I'm re-recording it. Hopefully this one is better. But all I wanted to say was I hope you like this video. I love you all, and I'll see you again next time. Mwah! Bye bye.